Well, 5 years ago today, the worst high-rise fire on Oahu in recent memory at the Marco Polo condominium building.
That fire killed 4 people, caused millions of dollars worth of damage, and sparked safety changes. Tonight, we look back at that day 5 years ago.
Back off the road!
People couldn't believe what they were seeing.
I'm really overwhelmed. I have never seen a fire like this.
A massive fire at this landmark condominium on Kapiolani Boulevard, the Marco Polo.
I saw the flames and the fire next door, and I just went crazy. I kept saying, there's a fire, and I just kept, screaming.
This happened on July 14th, 2017, just after 2 in the afternoon.
The fire alarm went off and we smelled quite a bit of smoke, and we could hear someone outside with a bullhorn telling people upstairs to stay put. And then we got out.
A surreal sight as the fire kept fighting back.
There have been reports of people who are trapped in their unit.
The fire started on the 26th floor in the living room of Unit 2602.
Very difficult, even with the equipment that we have on, to make our way to the floor of the fire and to the rooms of the fire.
The blaze devoured parts of the top floors, belching out thick black smoke for hours. About 130 firefighters battled the fire, bravely putting their own lives on the line.
Without a doubt, if there were sprinklers in this apartment, the fire would be contained to the unit of origin. Firefighters
did all they could to prevent it from spreading any further.
I had actually only moved in a few months ago, and I found out, it's the first time I found out that they didn't have any sprinklers in the building installed either.
4 Marco Polo residents died. Britt Reller, his mother Melba Jean Dilly, and their neighbors Joanne Kuwata and Marilyn Van Giesen. But firefighters saved the lives of so many others.
I'm fine, scared. The worst part of this maybe is that I lose everything.
The fire caused more than $100 million worth of damage.
This is the master bedroom, all turned black up there.
Despite the losses, most of the Marco Polo was spared from any damage. In the end, investigators were not able to determine the cause of the Marco Polo fire. And HFD can't stress enough the importance of fire prevention. In 2018, a year after the Marco Polo fire, an ordinance was put into place on Oahu that requires residential buildings over 10 stories to do fire safety evaluations and take the steps to pass the evaluations. Legislation after that allowed condo associations to forego the life safety evaluation if they install fire sprinklers. This past April, a city council bill was signed into law that pushes back the deadline for condos to get evaluated to the end of August until the year 2030 to pass the evaluation. If they decide to install sprinkler systems, they now have until 2038 to do so.
And the Honolulu Fire Department says fire sprinklers are your first line of defense against those kind of fires. They suggest when installing them, make sure you use a licensed professional to install those sprinklers, inspect, test, and maintain those sprinklers per the manufacturer's recommendations. Also, make sure that you have a working smoke alarm in your home. That'll increase your survival chances of a fire by more than 50%. Fire kills on average 2,500 people a year in the U.S. About 80% of those are house fires.